Greetings, Mr. Mark. Happy hump day. I hope you're feeling better soon. I've been feeling a bit sick myself, actually. I think I might have a migraine because I can't see properly. I've got a stinking headache and everything's a bit blurry. The pricing for the Tesla Model S is very different because people assume that Teslas are expensive, partly due to the fact that the Roadster was a really expensive car. And BMWs, yeah, they're expensive, but BMW has always offered some form of lower end car that has been within the grasp of more people. If you go into a BMW dealership to buy a car and you stumble across the i3, that's one thing, but you kind of have to go out of your way still to find a Tesla and buy it. I had to look up Jay-Z too, Mark, I'll admit. I knew who he was and I knew some of his songs, but I didn't really know that much, and I had to listen to some of his music, which I didn't actually enjoy all that much. I tend not to listen to rap, to be honest, unless it's really geek rap or steampunk, like Professor Elemental. So celebrities, I agree, won't cause people to go out and buy an EV straight off the bat. But I think you're right, it is about aspirations, and maybe Tesla can use that aspirational element in the future. At the moment, there aren't really Teslas that everyone can buy, but Tesla's bringing out its Model E at some point in the future, and it wants to target that aspirational sort of majority of the market. And maybe that's the point at which people go, well, Jay-Z had one, maybe I should buy one. I don't think you and I will necessarily go out and buy a car because a celebrity has one. I've not ever been that kind of person. I don't think you are either. Long distance trips. Oh, wow. For those who don't know, this kind of cross-country trip you're describing from the southwest up to Cambridge is akin to the one I do from Bristol to Norwich every now and then to see my mum. And you're right, it is a long way by EV. It really is. And I do make those kind of trips fairly regularly. The last time I did it, I took the Volt for that reason you gave, that the rapid charging networks have been a bit unreliable. And as you point out, you know, people are working on solutions, and this is bleeding edge technology, and we are on the bleeding edge, and sometimes we get cut. And it brings the question to mind of, what are you valuing about this trip on Saturday? Are you valuing the time it's going to take you to get from point A to point B? And how much is your time worth? If you're saying, okay, if I take this on the train, it's going to cost me, I don't know, 70, 80 pounds on the train return. And while I'm travelling, I can do this, this and this, and it will be useful and it will be part of my time. Or are you saying, actually, going by EV is actually going to cost me very little from a financial point of view, but it's going to cost me quite a lot of time? Now, if you can get to Oxford, for example, you can stop at the Nissan dealership there, and maybe it's worth ringing them beforehand to see if their charging station is working. Maybe you can stop off there, which is just north of the airport, and do a fast charge. The next one on your stop will be a Polar Network charging station, which we've talked about before, and you're going to have to pay to use that rapid charging. But there is one final option that you may want to consider, and that's just borrowing a gas car. Our local Nissan dealer that you and I use have a scheme, as is the rest of the UK, where you can go to your Nissan dealer and effectively borrow a petrol car for those long distance trips. And I think maybe you should consider doing that. Ring them up, say, can I have an automatic micro for the day? They might help you out. But what do I want to talk to you about today, Mark? Charging databases. You see, Mark, I've been planning my trip to Switzerland now for the best part of a month, and every time I think I've come up with a good route, I find another piece of data that suggests the charging station I want to use either doesn't work or isn't there. I'm refining it now, and I've got a more solid idea of what does and doesn't exist. But I wonder why it's such a problem that collectively electric car drivers and the industry can't just get together and work out the POI system that allows you to just find all the charging stations. Each database has a different data set, they're not working together, and I know there's the Open Charge database, Open Charge map, but even that still doesn't contain all the things. Is this something that governments need to mandate, that all charging stations be put on one map to rule them all? Or are we doomed to be wandering around in the EV desert, hoping that we find the oasis we need in a plug? I'd be interested to know what you think. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!